With their seventh studio album, If You Go There, I Hope You Find It, the Paper Kites return to the essence of who they are, crafting songs that feel intimate, honest, and deeply human. Rooted in themes of nature, healing, and quiet reflection, the record unfolds with the calm assurance of a band fully at ease with its identity. Today in Mi Rollo, I'm joined by David Powys, backing vocalist and multi-instrumentalist on guitar and banjo, to talk about the hard process or an emotional landscape behind this new chapter. Hello, David. It's a pleasure to having you here.
Hello, it's very, very good to be here. Muchas gracias.
De nada, de nada. You're welcome. The album feels like a quiet return home. When did you first realize you were making a record about reconnecting, not just with the music, but with each other as a band?
It was unintentional the way that the album came together. We had been touring for a long time on our previous album at the Roadhouse, and it was a very big undertaking, that album and all the touring. It was a lot of touring over 2 years. So after a time of rest at home with our families, I think we naturally fell into making music that was a reflection of being at home and being at peace with our families and spending time in the garden and doing things around the house and on holidays. And I think we made something that feels like a true reflection of each of us as individuals, and the things that inspire us in the everyday life around home and with our children and with our partners. So it feels really natural and really yeah, like a very uh, a homecoming kind of sound, I think.
And what does home mean to you at this stage of your journey?
Uh, Home to me means being with my family. I have a beautiful wife and 3 children.
Mhm.
Um, right now, we are at our beach house. We have a little beach house with 2 bedrooms, um, Casa de la Playa, I like to
Mm.
call it. And yeah, we just spend a lot of time playing board games together, and um, we have no Wi-Fi. We have no Netflix, nothing. Just we have a TV with DVDs, and that's it. We read books together. We go surfing. We ride our bikes, and it feels really grounding and really lovely to spend quality time with the children. I've also been painting. You can probably see a lot of paint on my hands at the moment. It's been nice.
And what are some of the most special moments you take away from recording in the farm?
I think we wrote and arranged a lot of the songs at the farm, and the album was made in a studio called Sing Sing in Northcote, which is not far from where I live in Melbourne. And some of the best memories from making the album came from being at the farm and writing some of the songs, arranging a lot of the songs together, and it felt like one of the easiest albums to make. I think we weren't trying too hard to write music from a thematic point of view. It was more just what felt good to us, what sounded good, and what music we wanted to make. So there was no umbrella, a theme that the songs had to fit within it. It just was more what felt really good to us and what sounded right for us. So that's what we came up with.
And your first track, Morning Gum, feels tender and observational, like catching the day mid-breath. Lines like throw out all the papers, spare me the news of the day, suggest a need to shut out the noise of the world. Did this song come from a desire to protect something intimate from everything happening outside?
Yeah, there is themes of protecting the things that we love and creating um, a sacred place for our families and the ones we love, and also our for our mindset um, to be fiercely protective about creating peace and a safe place.
The cover of the album looks like a view through a window as if we are mid journey. Change of the Wind, released on December 4th, feels like a quiet yet powerful reflection on personal growth. Because I can change it all, but I can change my mind. And when you say everywhere I look, I see imbalance of the scales, was there a specific moment that made you feel that imbalance?
I think the state of the world at the moment um, feels highly unpredictable. I think, and um, I think it can only when everything feels out of control. I think um, the only thing you can change is yourself and how you look at the world and how you love people around you. That song that song means a lot to us, I
Mhm.
think, because there's with everything happening in the world at the moment, it makes sense to look at the way that you view things, and there's not a lot we can change, but we can change the things that we are willing to let go of or willing to view differently. That makes everything feel a little less crazy when you just focus on yourself and the people around you, and just zoom in a little bit more on caring for those close to you.
And what was it like directing your own video for this song? And how did Christina Lacy bring the story to life?
Um, well, Christina is responsible for the album cover. That's her handwriting on the window. So we thought it would be nice to have her um, pick some of her favorite lyrics from the song and write them on the same. Yeah, it's the same window that the album cover was photographed. So it's inside the back of a very old bus. So she wrote some of her favorite lyrics from the song on the window, and she just has such beautiful handwriting.
And each single focuses on a different band member, both musically and visually. What did it feel like to step back and let each person's presence lead a song?
It was an accident. Actually, we when we filmed the video for When the Lavender Blooms, Sam had the idea for me to be just dance across the field in the at the farm where we rehearse. And then after that, we thought our manager came up with the idea. She said, "Well, it would be kind of cool if each of you were to do like an individual video like that." And we thought, yeah, sure, that's a good idea. So we came up with the rest of the ideas, and I I had the idea for Josh to ride around on a motorbike um, for the song Every Town, and then we added some flags on the back, and yeah, I think they turned out really well, and it's nice to have each of us um, part of each of those songs.
And songs like When the Lavender Blooms and Every Town lean into nature and memory. Lavender is often associated with calmness, healing, and memory. What does When the Lavender Blooms represent for you emotionally?
My attachment to that song feels more musical than it does lyrical.
Yeah.
I That song feels really sunny to me and really happy, really positive, and is a really nice first single. I think we released that song first, and um, we have a lot of sad songs and we have a lot of moody songs, and that song always feels very refreshing to me. And I think um, it's nice to have a little more of an uplifting song every now and then.
Your track, Every Town, no, where you say, in every town you come around to me. Do you think some connections never really leave us, no matter how far we go?
I would agree with that, and I think the people we love dearly, they travel with us everywhere we go. You know, in a sense, you know, and we as a band, we see a lot of different places, a lot of different cities. Unfortunately, we haven't been to Spain yet, but it's on our list of places to go. But we see a lot of places, and walking around cities and towns, we often see things that, and I often see things that remind me of one of my children or my wife or someone who I love, and so it has that feeling, you know, in every town you come around, you're always in my memory and you're always with me. The things I see, I want to share with you, but you're not here, and I just have to send you a photo.
And strongly in your arms carries a deep emotional weight. I can find peace of mind in any kind of rain. Were there any songs on this record that surprised you, either in how they came together or how personal they became?
Yeah, I think so. There's a few songs on the album that are starting to stand out for me, but it's more when we tour the album and we play the songs every night that each night a different song will reveal itself to me and feel more and more personal. So I'll have to get back to you on that one after we start touring.
With 7 albums behind you, do you feel more comfortable with who you are as a band now than ever before?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Yes. Um, we wondered how this album would go, returning to being a five-piece after we had toured as an eight-piece band. Um, and we feel really validated, um, being able to release this album that we are most proud of. Um, and I think being a band for 15 years, we've been through a lot together, and we know each other quite deeply. So we spend a lot of time together, and then we spend a lot of time apart because we don't live very close to each other. But we are, might be cliche, but we are quite like a family, and we know each other quite well. So to make an album like this that we're so proud of and feels really, really true for us, and an honest reflection of who we are as people and musicians, feels really great. And I think for me, it's my favorite album that we've made so far.
Bloom introduced you to the world in a huge way, but this album feels almost deliberately inward. Did you ever feel pressure to repeat that moment, or have you made peace with letting songs find their own life?
Yeah, we've been on a bit of a journey with songs like Bloom. It's by no means our favorite song to play, but we understand that people have their own connection to each song, and people have their own stories connected to each song. So our songs no longer belong to us once we release them. They belong to the people who listen to them, and for that reason, we desperately try and perform the songs that people want to hear each night. And we hope that we create an experience for people that is unforgettable for them, because we have the honor of being a soundtrack to their lives, and that's why I love music, and that's why I love all my favorite bands, you know, because they're part of my life and my story. So we're very lucky to be a part of other people's lives.
You've influenced a new generation of songwriters while quietly staying true to your pace. Has patience become part of your artistic identity?
I think I would describe our identity as intentional and considered. Um, we're quite careful about the things that we say yes and no to. We're quite protective of how we're perceived, and we're quite intentional about being true to ourselves as a band and as artists. So I think we really feel lucky to still be a band. The music industry is quite cruel at the moment and quite difficult for young artists. Um, with the entire industry being monopolized by rich CEOs and streaming completely destroying the fabric of um, artists being able to make money. I think it's we just feel so lucky to be where we are, and yeah, we hope to still be playing music and making albums for years to come.
What are your reference in music?
Right now, well, today I've been painting the house, and I've been listening to a band from Montreal called the Bar Brothers,
Mhm.
um, and yeah, they have a beautiful new album called Let It Hiss, and that's been really great. Yeah, they're great musicians and really like world musicians. Like they play all types. They can play anything, but the music they make is really intentional, really beautiful. Um, but I it's probably worth noting that my mother is Spanish, so I grew up listening to a lot of flamenco,
Mm.
a lot of flamenco guitar, and a lot of Spanish musicians. So that's always been quite influential um, in my passion for guitar music. And I'm very lucky to have that upbringing.
After all these years of touring and recording, including songs like Electric Indigo with At Your Love with Julia Stone or For All You Give with Lucy Rose, what still gives you that nervous, excited feeling before releasing new music?
Um, I think releasing music feels different these days. Um, it doesn't feel real until we go out on the road and we actually see people at our shows. Like you release music now and it sort of goes out into the clouds. You don't really know how people are enjoying it, but when we play a show and we meet people and we see people there buying tickets, that's really when it feels exciting and feels like there's traction and something's happening. People are connecting to the songs. So releasing new music feels like a relief because we've been holding onto the music for so long, and then we finally can release it for people to hear. So it's very exciting.
When people listen to the album, do you hope they see their own there in it?
Yeah, I hope so. I think this album is I hope this album is very easy for people to grab a hold of and to find their own meanings in the songs. And I can see you've already done so, which is really nice.
Mm. And as you get ready to take these songs across the UK, Europe, and North America in 2026 this year, what are you most excited to rediscover along the way?
Um, I think the songs that we record and put on the album, they always feel finished and they feel done when we do that, you know when we're finished the album. But when we play live, the songs become they change and they become something else, and the dynamic changes, and they feel more a part of us than they did in the studio, because we're getting to share them each night with a different group of people. So it feels like each night, different songs, yeah, feel uniquely special. And I'm really looking forward to experiencing those songs with other people as well.
David, I don't know if you would like to add anything else to this interview.
All I want to say is I'm so happy to do this interview because um, we still haven't been to Spain, and I've been asking our management and our team to please book us a
Mm.
show because I personally have also never been to Spain yet, and which is very sad because I'm half Spanish, and I can't wait one day to be there with you in Spain and um, feel right at home.
I hope so.